So in the year of reboots, we have yet another one. This time the CW is trying to revive the WB classic show, Roswell. They've rebranded it, calling it Roswell, New Mexico, and put a whole new spin on it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I just got done watching the reboot of Roswell that the CW has put out called Roswell, New Mexico. And, I have to say, I really, really wanted to hate this show. I was a huge fan of the original. It came out when I was a teenager. It had that great blend of science fiction, drama, teen angst, everything, and it was just, to me, it's classic. I was a huge fan of it to the extent that, when they wanted to cancel it, I think I sent like a postcard or something. There was this whole online campaign to get it revived, and it worked. It worked twice, actually. Once they moved it from the WB to UPN, which then I didn't get to watch it because I didn't have UPN. But eventually I figured out how to find it. But like I said, was a huge fan. Really wanted to hate this because I get a little tired of them rebooting everything all the time. But not all of it's bad. And I found that this was pretty enjoyable. I liked it. Like I said, as much as I didn't want to, I liked it. There's a lot of mystery to it. It does pay homage to the original in certain scenes, but it's still doing its own thing. So I guess kind of let's go over the pros and cons of it. One of the big pros of it, the lead actress, Janine Mason, I believe is her name. I've liked her in a lot of things she's been in. I found her to be a very charismatic actress, and she was really good in this. Her spin on the character of Liz, I liked it. She was actually a little bit more interesting than the original Recipe Liz. They gave her more of a backstory with her Hispanic roots, whereas in the original they left that out. But her being Hispanic was actually in the book series that this is based on, Roswell High by Melinda Mintz. And so I like that. Her father, I believe, is undocumented, so there's that. They're adding that into it, and it really kind of brings it to current times with everything that's going on politically right now. They also gave her a backstory with a sister who was possibly had some mental capacity issues. She got into drugs. There was a wreck. We don't really know what happened, but we do, at the end of the episode, we do find out that Max somehow had something to do with it. Probably nothing major. It's just they're wanting you to think that, but in my opinion, he's probably tried to save her or something. But anyways, like I said, she was really good. I liked her. One big thing about the original show to me was that the chemistry between Max and Liz was just on fire. I can still go back and watch the show today and still feel the chemistry between them like whenever I watched it originally. They just popped off screen to me. These two actors, it took a little bit to warm up, but towards the end of the episode, when he was explaining to her what he was, where he was from, I started to feel the spark. So I think they've got that, and I think they can work on it. Some other things I liked about as far as the cast, I like, Michael Trevino, who was in The Vampire Diaries. He's on this. I always liked him on there. I hope they can flesh him out a little bit more on this, because on Vampire Diaries, he was an interesting character, but he always would be there for a little bit, then he would go away, and he would always fall into the background. So maybe this time, he's playing the role of Kyle, which is the sheriff's son. It's a little different in this one because the sheriff is actually a woman as opposed to a man in the previous series, and Kyle is a doctor. Of course, they've aged everybody up. They're in their 20s. They're coming back for a high school reunion, so this is definitely not like the high school series. So there's that. I like the casting. For the most part, I liked everyone that was casted. We'll go into one con is right now the girl playing Isabel. Is it too late to recast? I'm sure Katherine Heigl is not doing anything right now, and we could just slide her on in there, because Isabel was one of my favorites in the original series. And not that I'm the biggest Katherine Heigl fan, but I liked what she did with that character. And this girl is just, I don't know. There was just something about her. Every time she was on screen, I thought, just make her go away. There was something about her. One thing watching it that absolutely brought a smile to my face, because I was just thinking, every person who's watching this who was an original Roswell fan, especially the huge Michael and Maria fanship, oh my gosh, they must have just been like devastated, because in this version, so far Michael and Maria have not shared a scene together, for starters. But it actually appears that Michael has a background with the character of Alex. I'm going to say they were in a relationship. It went wrong. So, they've added that to it, because that was definitely not in the original. But that appears to be the relationship that they're going to play up in this episode, or this series, as opposed to Michael and Maria. In the original series, Michael and Maria was a huge ship. I mean, people were just crazy for them, and they were a good couple. They had good chemistry. The characters did, or the actors did. But it kind of made me laugh, because I thought, oh my gosh, somewhere these people are just having a heart attack over this, because as soon as they thought, oh, they're rebooting it, oh, my characters are going to be back together. But that's probably not going to happen at this point. The mystery aspect of the show, I liked it. It's similar to the original. They're in hiding, all that kind of thing. But there is a whole alien subplot, in the sense of things have happened before. Maybe Max, Isabel, and Michael were not the only ones there. There was some murders before with the handprint mystery, which was in the original series, but this one's it's been elevated a little bit. And of course, there is the whole backstory of what happened to Liz's sister. It definitely left you on a cliffhanger about that. One thing that I honestly kind of looked for in this was for them to play Dave Matthews band's song "Crash Into Me," just because it was a huge part of the original. In the pilot, I automatically think of that song, but they're doing their own thing. Liz has a new song in this one, so there's that. But overall, I'm gonna watch it next week. It hooked me. I didn't want it to, but it did. I think it's worth a look, especially if you liked the original, or if you're just looking for something new. I kind of wish it wasn't a reboot, because I feel like I'm always going to be comparing it to the original, instead of enjoying it for what it is. I have a friend who has not really watched the original series. She watched maybe one episode. She liked it, but she never watched the rest of it. So for her, this is going to be something completely different, and she's going to be able to enjoy that as it is. Whereas I'm always going to be comparing it, but that's just what it is. But anyways, if you have some comments, leave them down below. I'd love to hear from you. If not, I will see you soon.